Welcome to the Savvy Podcasting for Entrepreneurs podcast, a place for podcasters to learn what's actually working in the world of podcasting and how to use their podcast to generate consistent leads in their business. I'm your host, Jenny, and I'm so excited you're here. Hey Savvies, welcome back to another episode of the podcast. I'm so happy you're here. And if you're in the US, I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving last week. We had almost our entire family over at our place, and it was a lot of fun, but also very tiring. I'm a huge fan of the holiday season, all of the busyness that it brings. So I'm always happy when November and December roll around. So before we dive into the episode, I did want to tell you that our podcast listener survey is now available through the end of December. And I'd love for your feedback about the Savvy Podcasting for Entrepreneurs podcast so that we can continue to grow and improve our podcast. So if you want to take the survey, you can go to savvypodcastingforentrepreneurs.com/survey. And anyone who takes this will be entered to win a $25 Amazon gift card. So make sure to leave your name and email address if you're interested in winning. If you just want to take the survey for me and don't want to enter to win, no biggie. You don't have to leave your name or anything. It can be completely anonymous, but I would love your feedback regardless. So please go fill it out. Like I said, savvypodcastingforentrepreneurs.com/survey, and let's get into the episode. So since 2022 is on the close horizon, not the far horizon, I thought it'd be the perfect time to talk about preparing your podcast for 2022 and beyond. So let's get into it. So first up, you want to start content planning like right now, if you haven't already. So you're going to blink and before you know it, it's going to be 2022. So make sure you start nailing down your content for 2022 now. I recommend writing out a bunch of topic ideas at the very least, but it also wouldn't be a bad idea to start outlining and even recording some episodes too, so that you can get a head start. Because I know once we get busy and things get crazy, we kind of neglect our podcast if we haven't recorded anything, and it's just the thing that ends up falling to the wayside. So don't let that be the case and plan ahead, record ahead. And it's because it's much better to be ahead of the game and on top of it than flying by the seat of your pants each week, because that's just really overwhelming and stressful. Okay, so another thing you want to do is reach out to your guests for next year. So now is the perfect time to start solidifying your guests for 2022. This is something I'm working on the first week of December, so next week, since this week was kind of November, December hybrid. Since I try to only record with guests a couple times per year, this just really maximizes my time spent during the year on recording. So I can just record like once, twice, maybe 3 times a year, and then that'll be it for guests. And I know that does sound a little bit crazy and exhausting to record that many episodes over the span of a few days, but it's just really nice to not worry about recording for a while. And it just allows me to really focus on marketing my episodes and growing my listenership instead of trying to record a new episode on the fly each and every week and feeling really scrambled all the time. So I definitely recommend kind of solidifying some of that now so you have less headache in early 2022. All right. And finally, conduct a listener survey. So conducting surveys for your listeners really helps you get a better look into what's working, what isn't. And you can use this data to find out where listeners found you, what kind of content they enjoy most, what guests they want to hear from, and so much more. So I think it's really important. I'm actually going to do a longer episode all about listener surveys in a couple of weeks. So I definitely think you should tune into that if that sounds like something you want to do in January or February, or even slip in at the end of the year. So yeah, stay tuned for that. So to briefly recap, start content planning like now, reach out to guests for next year, and conduct a listener survey. That's a great way to go into 2022 feeling confident, ahead of the game, and ready to rock. So yeah, that is it for today's episode. If you want to check out the show notes for the episode, you can go to savvypodcastingforentrepreneurs.com. And if you want to do me a favor and check out and take that listener survey, you can go to savvypodcastingforentrepreneurs.com/survey. It would mean the world to me if you could take that and give me your feedback, because it is so important to me to continue putting out content that you guys actually enjoy. So yeah, go ahead and go to savvypodcastingforentrepreneurs.com/survey and take that survey if you'd like. I'd appreciate it so much. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe to the podcast on your favorite podcast player like Apple Podcasts,
Spotify, or Stitcher and leave a review. You can find us at savvypodcastingforentrepreneurs.com and on Facebook at Savvy Podcasting for Entrepreneurs and Instagram at Savvy Podcasting. Make sure to join our free Facebook community for podcasters by going to savvypodcastingforentrepreneurs.com/community and join in on the exclusive community just for Savvy Podcasting for Entrepreneurs listeners. I'll see you there.